What's going on, everybody? It's AG here. Today we're going to be taking a look at my top 10 current college football coaches. Now, before we get started here, every list on this is going to be different. You know, your opinion is going to be different than mine on this because everybody's kind of got their own criteria when defining what the top college football coaches is. As for me, I kind of take a mix of what have you done for me both in the past and currently. So, for example, if you were really good in the past, think Mack Brown, for example. Really good in the past, not very good right now. You're not going to be on this list. And then the opposite end of the spectrum, if you're really good right now, for example, made the college football playoff last year, but didn't do so hot in the past, Steve Sarkisian, you're not going to be on this list. Okay, so kind of a mix of that is kind of what goes into my criteria personally. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Join me in the comment section while we're moving along. All right, starting off, I got a couple honorable mentions here. These aren't necessarily 11 and 12, but I just want to give these guys a shout out because they don't get a lot of hype when talking about the top college football coaches. Jeff Brohm at Louisville and Dave Doeren at NC State. Both these guys have done really good jobs with the programs they've had. All right, NC State, not the easiest place to win. Jeff Brohm did pretty good at Purdue. I think he's going to take Louisville to pretty good heights, kind of a consistently top 20 team probably. Really impressive, both these guys, and don't get talked about a lot. Starting off at number 10, we've got James Franklin. Now, James Franklin, I know is probably not on a lot of people's list, but the dude wins, okay? He has not been that successful as far as taking it to that next step, but he's in a tough conference, all right? He's been behind Michigan and Penn State the past few years. Michigan and Ohio State the past few years at Penn State, and kind of can't get over that hump. I think this team benefits the most from playoff expansion because they've kind of been that next team over and over. Like, think back to a couple years. It was either 2020 or 2021. They were probably the fifth best team in the country, but didn't make the playoff because they lost to Michigan and Ohio State, which were, two of the top four teams in the country. But as far as winning percentage-wise, James Franklin, 675 winning percentage, 5 10-plus win seasons. He's got a total record of 112 and 54, and he won 2 times. He had 9 wins at Vanderbilt. Not an easy thing to do. Vanderbilt usually kind of the bottom dweller in the SEC. All right, number 9, Luke Fickell. His stock has kind of dropped a little bit since he went to Wisconsin, but I think he'll get them back up eventually. But think back to a couple years ago when he was at Cincinnati coming off that college football playoff appearance. He was wanted by everybody. I was pretty confident he was going to be the next Ohio State coach, to be honest with you, to take over for Ryan Day, but it didn't happen. But Luke Fickell, what he did at Cincinnati, taking them to the college football playoff, a G5 school to the college football playoff, something probably nobody else on this list could have done. Now, is he going to win at Wisconsin? To be determined. We'll see. I think they're a lot better this year. But overall, though, Luke Fickell, .696 winning percentage, 3 10-plus win seasons, 71 and 31, and 1 college football playoff appearance. We talked about that. Hasn't been coaching that long, okay, compared to some of these guys on this list, but I think Luke Fickell can definitely climb here. All right, number 8, Lincoln Riley, a guy whose stock has dropped a lot as well. But this guy wins. Okay, I know they kind of disappointed with Caleb Williams these past couple years at USC, but not necessarily this year, but the year before. If Williams doesn't go down, they probably make the college football playoff. But as far as Lincoln Riley is concerned, I remember came from Oklahoma to USC, 804 winning percentage, 5 10-plus win seasons, took over for Bob Stoops at OU, 74 and 18, and 3 college football playoff appearances. Makes college football playoff. He also turns quarterbacks pro. While he usually brings them in as transfers, he's had multiple number 1 overall picks, first-round quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield. Lincoln Riley, really good head coach, I think. All right, number 7, Kyle Whittingham at Utah, 672 winning percentage, 7 10-plus win seasons, 162 and 79. Has won a ton at Utah. Not the easiest place to win. Has 17 out of his 19 seasons are winning seasons at Utah. So the guy wins. I think he could be in the college football playoff this year, actually, with Cam Rising coming back. But Kyle Whittingham, really good job at Utah. Number 6, Kirk Ferentz. All right, this one's probably going to get a lot of pushback in the comment section, but I'm really big on Kirk Ferentz. Iowa is not the easiest place to win, and he wins at Iowa. I know his offense isn't fun to watch, and I'm not talking about this as a fan. Excuse me, losing my voice over here. Not talking about this as a fan. I'm talking about this just as a football guy. Kirk Ferentz is a good head coach. Okay, I don't care how you win. If I'm a fan of that school, I don't care how you win. As long as you win, I'm satisfied. All right, and they win ball games there. 8 10-plus win seasons at Iowa, 196 and 119. Overall record, 3 11-plus win seasons. They've been really good these past few years. Kirk Ferentz, again, I know his offense is kind of tough to watch sometimes, but the guy wins, and that's, personally, if I'm a booster, if I'm an athletic director, that's all I care about. I don't care how pretty it is. Are you winning ball games or not? Kirk Ferentz is winning ball games. All right, number 5, Mike Gundy. All right, kind of another slept-on guy here. 678 winning percentage, 8 10-plus win seasons at Oklahoma State. Not an easy thing to do. 166 and 79 overall record, 2 12-win seasons at Okie State. Again, not an easy place to win by any means, but he gets the job done at Oklahoma State. They're constantly a contender in the Big 12, even with Texas and Oklahoma being much more revenue, much more boosted from athletic boosters, having a lot more money. He's always competitive in that conference. I think they benefit the most from SEC expansion. So Texas and Oklahoma are gone. Oklahoma State can take the Big 12 by the reins and kind of take over. Our number 4, Ryan Day, okay? I know a lot of people think he's a bad coach, and he does have some question marks, obviously. Haven't won the big one, but all he does is win. One bad hire at Ohio State, and you could crush that team for 20-plus years, you know what I mean? But Ryan Day is consistent, consistently good, 4 10-plus win seasons, hasn't been a head coach that long. Look at that winning percentage, though, .875 winning percentage. The dude almost wins 9 out of his 10 games. Really impressive stuff. Still single-digit losses, 56 and 8. 2 college football playoff appearances, 1 national championship appearance. I really thought they were going to beat Georgia a couple years ago in the semis. Ryan Day, again, I don't think you can get anybody better at Ohio State. I know a lot of people want him gone because he hadn't been able to beat Michigan and Jim Harbaugh, but you kind of just, in my opinion, had to wait out this run. Michigan has been stacked these past few years with the draft class that went this past season that won the national championship. I think Ohio State's got next. All right, number 3, Brian Kelly. All right, LSU head coach, .729 win percentage. He's also been at Notre Dame. All right, had a lot of success there. 12 10-plus win seasons, 186 and 69, 2 college football playoff appearances, 1 BCS national championship appearance at Notre Dame. All right, hasn't kind of won the big one at LSU yet, but again, think back to what he did at Notre Dame. They were a lot better then than they are now with Marcus Freeman. I think he's going to win one at LSU eventually. Everybody does. That's the head coach at LSU. Everybody wins a national championship, and he's probably the best one out of those, not including Nick Saban, obviously. But, you got Saban, you got Les Miles, Ed Orgeron. People win at LSU. Brian Kelly is definitely going to keep winning at LSU. All right, number 2, Dabo Swinney. All right, his stock, again, has kind of dropped a little bit lately because of what he's done in the transfer portal. But despite not being a fan of the transfer portal, he still wins. All right, even though they had a so-called down year this year, they still went 9-4. Still won 9 ball games. But look at these stats right here. In the college football playoff, it was Clemson and Alabama. Those were the top 2. But almost wins 8 out of 10 games, 12 10-plus win seasons, 170 and 43, 2 national championship wins. You can see one of them up there above his name, and then 6 college football playoff appearances. Think about that, how many college football playoff appearances. That's pretty impressive. But the dude wins, okay? I realize, like I said, a lot of people don't like what he does in transfer portal, and that's agreeable. I don't necessarily like that he doesn't take any transfers in either. I don't like the transfer portal, but I think you got to adapt or die, But still, even regardless of them losing transfers, he still wins, and wins at an awesome rate as well. But anytime you've got a 2-time national championship coach, 6 college football playoff appearances, you got to be up here. All right, and last but not least here, Kirby Smart, 6 10-plus win seasons, 2 national championships, 3 college football playoff appearances, 94 and 16 overall record, .855 winning percentage. With Nick Saban gone, with Jim Harbaugh gone, Kirby goes up to number 1. He was number 2 anyway behind Saban for me. But Kirby is the new number 1. All right, he's done really impressive things at Georgia, taking them to the college football playoff. They've always been pretty good. Like, think back to under Mark Richt. They were pretty solid, but he's taken them to new heights. They are the new Alabama kind of right now, and they are the team to beat every year as of right now. But those are my top 10 current college football coaches. Let me know yours. Who would you take off this list? Who would you move up? Who would you move down? Who would you add to this list? Let me know. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video, and most importantly, subscribe.